Hey, everybody. Today I want to talk about relationships and how important relationships are. And today's age, and probably for the last 15 or so years, we're all too willingly just throwing the towel in the dirty dishwash water and walking away from marriages of 15, 20, 25, 30, and even 40, 50 years of marriage. And I've been married 2 times. The first time for 10 years, and it was an absolute disgrace. The marriage should have never happened. I was 16. I was pregnant. Got married because I had to. I was a kid, but I learned real fast how to take care of a household, cooking, cleaning, mowing, taking care of everything. And I had 2 children with him, and I hung in as long as we both could. He had a wandering eye, and he thought the grass was greener on the other side. And we divorced, and that was the best thing that happened to me as far as getting out of that relationship. Although I was young, I met another guy within 3 months, and we were engaged within 6 months and married. That was fantastic. He was everything that I could have ever dreamed about. I mean, we hit it off on every aspect. For a long time, we had a fantastic marriage until he started turning to alcohol. Now, we drank socially and everything. We were 26 years old. We'd go out once in a while, have a beer or a pitcher or two, or, and then maybe the following weekend, we might go back out. That was the thing to do back then. But, excuse me. I just drank my protein drink. So what happened was a lot of stress started coming in the marriage, not because of him or I, but because his parents, they had him when he was 40, and once they got in their upper 80s, they started having problems, and he's the only son, so he was called every time something had to be done, needed to be done to their home. And we had 2 teenage boys that were in sports, and we lived out in the country. We were gone with sports 4 nights a week, and he just felt his world collapsing, so he turned to alcohol and became a raging alcoholic. And it was really, really hard for me. If you've ever been or had a family member that's an alcoholic, then you'll know what I'm talking about. It's horrible. It's because it doesn't only affect them, it affects you. It affects your children. It affects them, obviously. But I think it affects family more than anybody, because they have to see it. They have to deal with it. They have to if you're an enabler, like I probably was, you have to make excuses why daddy's gone to bed at 7 o'clock. And it's just a horrible life. We hung out with that marriage. I wrote letters to him every night before I went to bed, so that he could see him at 4:30 in the morning when he got up to get ready for work. He did hold his job down for quite a while. He did finally lose it, but begging him to stop drinking, and how, I wanted our family to stay together, and how it affected our family so much. And, he couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. So finally I had enough, and I left, and I moved to town. And my son joined the military, so he was out of the house. Had a 14, almost 15-year-old, and he stayed both with me and then with him too. And things were just really bad. But my message today is, if you can, please, if you have any kind of caring, stay in the relationship for your family, because being single at an older age is, I don't know what's worse, being in a bad marriage or being single, because there's the men, and I can only speak for men. I know there's crazy women out there too, But the men are, probably why I left my husband is probably the why that guy is single. And it's just try to stay. We as human beings need to make our relationships last. We don't need to just throw the towel in and say, I'm done. There's something better out there. And I'm not telling you that to stay in an abusive relationship. I'm saying to try and make it work. Go to the next level. I don't know what else I could have done. I wish I could have done something. I wish I could have just stayed and maybe prayed more. I don't know. I thought I did everything I could, but I'm just saying that we throw in the towel, and then when we get in our, I was 47, and which is still relatively young, but trying to find another companion that has everything that you found in that companion that you just had, and is almost impossible. I'm not saying that there's not people that's gone on and found their soulmate. I'm saying I never have found my soulmate after throwing in the towel with that marriage. It just didn't happen. It still hasn't happened. I've grown, I've changed, and my message is please try everything possible. Don't cheat on your spouse. I didn't do that. I did have an internet relationship that was almost impossible, but I did have a relationship that I shouldn't have done. I was so lonely and I was just looking for someone to talk to. But what I'm saying is, if you've got history with somebody, when you get divorced and say you meet another guy or another woman, you don't have that history that you had with your ex-spouse. You don't have the growing pains, the children bearing days, and it's just really hard. So my message today is, please, family is so important. Children are so important. It affects the children so bad, even if they're older, 18, whatever. And alcohol affects the family. Drug addicts affect the family. But try everything you can. Just don't throw the towel in. Please, that's my message today. Thank you. I'm coming at you with no makeup on because I'm trying to change myself and accept myself and love myself. I am trying to be a better me. I need to lose 60 pounds. And I just need to accept me for now, the way I am. And I hope everybody's having a terrific day. Thank you for listening.